You know how many people came in? Like we used to read. Hello. Thank you very much, everybody. It's a great honor to be with a friend of mine, Emmanuel Macron, President of France. He's doing a really good job. He's fighting hard. He's fighting on a lot of fronts. He's helping with regard to the Russia-Ukraine catastrophe. And his words of wisdom mean a lot. And we've been friends for a long time now, really, from the first term on. And I appreciate you being here. Really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm very happy to have the opportunity to exchange with President Trump and our teams. And indeed, we have a lot of things to do together, and especially fixing, these crazy wars we have. And I just saw the message you issued after your meeting with the President Zelensky, and I think it's a very right one. If we back concretely Ukraine in this situation, given the Russian economy is suffering, there is this opportunity of a good future.
It is.
So we will back it.
I think so. They're very enthusiastic in a lot of ways. It's been a terrible war. It should have ended. And Russia should have stopped it. But they've been 3.5 years and they've gotten not so far. So we'll see what happens. But the other side can fight too. And they've proven that. Maybe it could be that Russia's a paper tiger. I don't know what they are. But 3.5 years of fighting and killing everybody. Of killing 7,000 people a week. For nothing. So it's a very sad situation, but most of you have seen the recent statement I put out a little while ago, and I'm glad you got it. But I feel that way. I really do feel that way. Let them get their land back.
Yep.
So we'll see how it all works out. And in the meantime, I hear France is doing well, and you're doing well. And he's been my friend, and we've gotten along on just about every subject there is to get along with, other than on occasion wine. I say, wouldn't you like to pay a couple of dollars to put the wine into America? But we've always treated you good, right?
We will try to fix all these issues, but we have very good discussions. And I think peace as an objective everywhere,
right.
Ukraine as the Middle East is a common objective we have. So we will work hard on that.
Emmanuel has actually helped me with a couple of the wars. We settled 7 wars. The biggest disappointment, but I think that'll happen eventually, is the Ukraine and Russia situation. But we've settled. I thought that was going to be the easiest one because of my relationship with Putin, but unfortunately that relationship didn't mean anything, unfortunately. But when I needed some advice and when I needed some help in terms of a country in that part of the world, you were always there. And you helped me settle some of these 7 wars. I'm very proud of the 7 wars, but you helped me settle them, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Any questions?
President Macron just said that if you want the Nobel Prize, you should put an end to the war in Gaza. What's your response to that?
Well, they say that all together. It's Gaza, it's Russia, it's everything. I think Gaza's going to come along. We're going to have a very important meeting, and my next meeting actually is going to be very important with leaders in the region. And we're going to talk about Gaza. We're going to see if we can do something about it. We want to stop that. We want to get our hostages back, or their hostages back. We've gotten all of the American hostages, as you know, and Alexander, all of them have been back. Steve Witkoff's done a great job, and Marco always, and everybody. We have Scott got involved and strongly involved from a financial standpoint. We're doing some things that are pretty good. We put Iran out of commission, very important. It was called the bully of the Middle East, and they're out of commission. Now we're going to have a meeting today. I think it's going to be a successful meeting with all of the leaders of many of the biggest, I would say, the most important countries having to do with Gaza, indirectly and directly. And that's going to take place just in a little while. So I'm sure you'll be there, and we could have an outcome very quickly.
Why do you believe the recognition of Palestine is a gift to Hamas?
Well, I think it honors Hamas, and you can't do that because of October 7th. You just can't do that. But we want our hostages back, and we don't want them back in 1s and 2s and take the next 2 years to do it. We were the ones that got the hostages back. And I always said, I told Steve, I told Marco, I was always saying the last hostages are going to be the toughest ones. But you can't honor them by doing anything like you suggest. All you can do is say, we want our hostages back, and we want the war to end. We're going to want it to end. But you always have to remember, people forget October 7th was one of the most savage days in the history of the world. There's never been anything like that. We're talking about babies being sliced in half. You're talking about young children having their heads chopped off. You can't forget that.
Would you recognize Palestine if the
And
hostages were
just
back?
perhaps to make it clear on that, I think it's why yesterday 11 countries did recognize Palestine. Not as, I mean, it was not a decision taken like that, neither by UK, nor by Canada, nor by France. It's just a big change. President Trump is totally right. Nobody forgets the 7th of October. I went there a few days after, taking families in my hands, and we experienced all together these horrific attacks. And by the way, we lost a lot of French people in this terrorist attack. But after almost 2 years of war, what is the result? Once again, they killed the top leaders of Hamas. It works. This is a great achievement. But at the same time, you have as many Hamas fighters as you had the first day. So it doesn't work to dismantle the Hamas. This is not the right way to proceed. So we need a full-fledged process, and we work very hard on the day after, and I totally share the sequencing. The release of all hostages, the ceasefire, the resume of humanitarian aid, the day after in Gaza to stabilize the land. And we need a political perspective, and this is why we took this decision on recognition.
Would you recognize Palestine if the hostages were back?
Well, I have to say that I'm on the side of Israel. I've been on the side of Israel really my whole life. And we are going to get a solution. And it's going to be a solution, hopefully, that's good for everybody. But it's time to stop. We're going to have that very important meeting. I think the meeting we have coming up in the next hour is going to be one of the most important meetings that we'll have here. Now, we've had some important meetings. We've had some great meetings. And I understand where you are and where other people are, too. And we just have to get this solved. We have to get the hostages back. We want to get the war over. That's very important. We're going to end the war, get the hostages back, and we want them all back. We don't want to have one and then we'll give another two in about 3 months from now. We've been doing that for a long time. And in all fairness, we've gotten a lot of hostages back. But you have 20 hostages and you have probably 38 bodies, dead bodies. And the people that I see, and I speak to Israeli families. I was speaking to American families before, but we got them back. But I speak to Israeli families, and they want the son who died. They want their dead son back as much as though he were alive. And it's an amazing thing to see, and it's a horrible thing, actually, to witness, but I've seen it a lot. So they have 20 hostages. They have 38 dead bodies, and we have to have them back, and we have to have them back immediately. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Russ. Thank you. Thank you, Russ. Thank you so much. Thank you, Russ.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with a very powerful, very smart woman and a friend of mine, become a friend of mine. And she does a fantastic job running lots of different nations. And Ursula, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. And very much looking forward to our conversation. I think it will be mainly around Ukraine, the missing children, and certainly the new hybrid threats we are experiencing in Europe. So thank you very much for making the time.
Well, thank you very much, and we will have a very good conversation. Any questions, please?
How soon do you think, Madam President, how soon do you think that Europe can stop buying Russian oil and gas fluid like President Trump has asked for?
Yeah, President Trump is absolutely right. We're on it. We have reduced already massively the gas supply from Russia, completely gotten out of Russian coal, and massively also reduced the oil supply, but there's still some coming to the European continent. So what we do now, we put sanctions out to those ports where, for example, LNG is coming from Russia. And we want to put tariffs on oil supplies that are still coming to the European Union. So we are really getting, after the last bits of oil and gas coming from Russia to the European Union, we want to get rid of it.
When do you think you'll be able to do that? You previously said 2027, and you're looking at a quicker timeline.
We want to be out earlier, absolutely. So till the end of the year, we have the phasing out. We have now the sanctions on the table proposed. Member states have to agree. But we have to be faster because every payment is filling Putin's war chest. This cannot be.
Mr. President Muller, it's nice to see you. During your speech to the General Assembly, you talked about the UN not reaching its potential. Do you see any kind of consequence if they don't step up and do what they should on a number of issues?
Well, they've never really reached, not just now, they've never reached their potential. The UN could be unbelievable with certain people running it. And no, it's never reached the potential. Look, I put out 7 wars, if you think about it, and I'm not the UN, and I wasn't helped by the UN. I was never even given a phone call. But you have a list of the wars, and these were wars that were pretty much unstoppable. These are wars that were not going to be settled. One was 31 years, one was 32 years, one was 35 years, and altogether a total of 7. 2 were starting. And I was never called by the UN. I was never like, I didn't even think about it, frankly, until after we did it. I never gave it a lot of thought. And then recently I started thinking, we were never helped by the UN. And the UN has tremendous potential, tremendous potential. It's going to hopefully put out the wars themselves. I mean, someday it's going to do what I've been doing. And they should be able to do it. Thank you for that question. I appreciate it.
Sir,
Yeah.
given what you just said, what structural changes would you like to see in the UN, and what role do you think it could play in peacekeeping, for example, going forward, given what you just said?
Well, it's a fantastic role in peacekeeping. It should be great. I mean, we shouldn't have any wars if the UN's really doing its job. I know they were involved originally with Russia, Ukraine, and that didn't get done because that was the time to stop it. But no, I always say about the UN, fantastic potential, but it's all about the people. You can have a wonderful concept, but if you don't have the people. The UN has never lived up to its potential. But I'm the example of it. We do all these wars, and we weren't helped by the UN. We weren't hurt by them, but we weren't helped. They didn't do anything. And they're supposed to be solving these problems. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Brad.
We have a lot of meetings. We have a lot of meetings to go.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. We have a lot of meetings scheduled, but I wanted to meet with the president of Argentina, and we both wanted to meet with friends. He's done a fantastic job, and I'm doing something that I don't often do. I'm giving a full endorsement to him. We just endorsed him for president. As you know, he has a race coming up, and I'm sure he's going to do well, but now I think this hopefully assures it. And to the people of Argentina, we're backing him 100%. We think he's done a fantastic job. He, like us, inherited a mess, and what he's done to fix it is good, and Scott is working with their country so that they can get good debt and all of the things that you need to make Argentina great again. So it's an honor for me to endorse the president and the future president of Argentina. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's your endorsement. That wasn't bad. Now we can get out of here.
Are you going to help bail out Argentina, Mr. President?
Well, we're going to help them. I don't think they need a bailout. He's done a fantastic job. If you look at where they were when he first ran for office and where they are now, Scott, I would say that it's pretty amazing the job he's done.
So the transformation's unbelievable. He inherited the same kind of mess you did, and he's doing the same kind of job.
He's doing a really good job, and we've watched it very closely. We've worked with him and the people of Argentina. It's a great place. It's a really, as you know, I've been there. It's a truly beautiful country, and he's going to be very successful, and he's going to be very successful in the election. I think to complete the job, the great job that he's doing, he needs the next term. And he's going to get it based on everything I can say.
Secretary President, you said it would be a large and forceful response from the United States. Could you provide any more details on what that intervention?
Well, you know what it is. He has our backing. and having our backing. We're doing incredibly well as a country. We've never done this well, actually, as a country, including the stock market, which is setting new records virtually every day. And we are very much a fan of the job that he's done. So we are giving the President of Argentina our full backing and endorsement, and we think he's going to continue to do if he can continue to do the job that he's doing, it's going to be really something very special. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Press.
Would you like to say something?
Thank you.
I think a very productive day, and we're now we're going to start a meeting with the President, who we all know very well, and he's a brave man, and he's putting up one hell of a fight. And we'll see how that all turns out. But we're going to have a meeting, and we have about 30 meetings scheduled today. We have a lot of meetings scheduled today, going pretty late into the night. But this is an important one, and we have great respect for the fight that Ukraine is putting up. It's pretty amazing, actually. So, Mr. President, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. First of all, thank you for this meeting. Thank you for your personal efforts to stop this war just now, Mr. President. And I'm happy to say that just now our First Ladies of Ukraine, First Ladies of the United States, just now we'll have a meeting about Ukrainian children. Thank you for Melania's personal involvement to this topic. And this is very important. I will brief Mr. President and his team what's going on the battlefield. We have good news. Of course, we want to stop the war, and with your help, first of all. And it's good that our soldiers occupied 360 kilometers this month. And of course, we will speak about how to finish the war and about security guarantees. A lot of what to discuss. Thank you.
Would you like to say how you are doing on the battlefield?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So thanks to our soldiers and to possibility to pearl the program when NATO countries, by the way, thanks to your support, that they can buy weapons from the United States. So our soldiers this month, they occupied 360 kilometers, and they encircled 1,000 soldiers. And of course we want to exchange, because we need our soldiers in any case. But thanks to our soldiers, we have this possibility, this opportunity. And we will continue until Russia will stop this war, and I hope that they will stop. In any case, we know that the economy of Russia is not doing well with this. During this war, we need more pressure and more sanctions, and I hope with United States, first of all, and Europe, but we support, Mr. President, your idea, and I want to discuss it, how to stop some countries from Europe, how to stop them possibility to buy Russian oil and gas. Yes, I had conversation, by the way, with President of Slovakia, Prime Minister of Slovakia. We had good conversation. I think that they need some alternative ways, and they will support this idea. I'm not sure that Hungarians are ready, but everything is in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Mr. President, do you think that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if they enter their airspace?
Yes, I do.
Mr. President, any update on your talks with President Putin, and do you still trust him?
I'll let you know in about a month from now, okay?
President Trump, your
Are
message
you
to
willing
the...
to provide Ukraine with the security guarantees the same way as European allies?
Well, that's later down the road. We'll be talking about that. Hopefully, we'll be in a position to talk about that a little bit later on. It's a little bit too early to answer
Why
that
do you
question.
think Mr. Putin is not
go
going
ahead,
to meet
please.
with both of you?
President Trump, your message to President Orban, who is refusing to stop buying Russian oil.
Well, he's a friend of mine. I have not spoken to him, but I have a feeling if I did, he might stop, and I think I'll be doing that.
What progress do you think has been made on ending Russia's war against Ukraine since the last time you saw President Zelensky?
Well, the biggest progress is that the Russian economy is terrible right now. It's, as you know, it's crashing. And that, frankly, Ukraine is doing a very good job of stopping this very large army. It's pretty amazing. You know, this is a war that should have ended in 3 days, 4 days. People said it was going to be very quick, and you got to hand it to the Ukrainian soldiers and everybody involved. It's still going on, and that's not a good thing for Russia. This was supposed to be quick, And so, Russia doesn't look very distinguished, having taken 3.5 years now, right? It's about 3.5 years of very hard fighting. And it looks like it's not going to end for a long time.
Mr. President, have you been briefed on the latest alleged drone incursion into Denmark? What do you think of that? And
Where are they?
Into Denmark, Copenhagen. Denmark is saying that there were some drones at the airport, possibly Russian sabotage. What's your response to that? Will the U.S. have a material?
Well, I have no response until I find out exactly what happened. I know about it, but they don't know what happened. But we're going to find out very soon.
Sir?
Would you back up NATO allies? You said that you thought that they should shoot down the Russian aircraft. Would you back them up? Would the United States help them out in some way?
Depends on the circumstance, but we're very strong toward NATO. NATO stepped up. When they went from 2% to 5%, that was great unity. Trillions of dollars is being pumped in, and they're paying us for the weapons that we send. But that was a big day. That nobody thought a thing like that could happen. You had countries that weren't paying 2%, and now they're all paying 5%. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of weapons they're buying, and they're buying them from us. They're buying them from the U.S. In the old days, Biden gave them everything, gave them $350 billion worth of money and weapons. That's a lot of money and a lot of weapons, and we got really not much for it. We gave the money to Ukraine to fight, and they've proven they're very brave. I mean, look, they're fighting, and this is a war going on 3.5 years, and people thought it would be over quickly because Russia's a big military power, and Ukraine, I tell you, they are good fighters. Got to hand it to them. They have a lot of courage, a lot of guts. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to work very hard on this. This is my most important meeting. I've had important meetings. I don't want to insult anybody that we've met with. We met with just 32 meetings here. But this is the one that's very important to me because we're going to end something that should have probably never started. Thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.